Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday. That's the second time I'm doing the intro. That seems to be a trend as of late. I hope that doesn't happen more often. But anyways, yes, it is Saturday, and I'm going to be playing some more Dual Destinies. Now, I'm sorry that I didn't do Dual Destinies last week. I've said this several different times, but my nephew was over. And around these types of streams, I tend to be very, very loud. I didn't want to be stupidly, ridiculously loud. One, because I didn't want to just disturb the situation in the family, but secondly, I didn't want to, be a bad influence on that. He's at that impressionable age where he's just copy everything, so I didn't want him to just be, shouting incoherently. But anyways, no, I'm here, and I'm going to be playing a little bit more. Now, the last time that we were doing stuff involved with, a yokai fair. Hello, Jaluxia. Holy crap, you almost forgot the stream. Can't wait to watch me play Dual Destinies. Oh, sweet. Now, I don't know much about what you have seen, Phoenix Wright or Ace Attorney-wise. I don't know. How in-depth are you with the series? How much you up for it? Yep, Mario Kimon is over in the Twitch chat, and he says, Yokai Village! Anyway, that's where we were last time, and we were doing an investigation on the Yokai Village, and now we are about to dive into the actual court proceedings proper. So, how about that? A lot? Well, I'm not going to say vast knowledge, but I have at least played all of the previous games up to this point. So, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the Games tab, and we are going to begin. Hey, funny stuff. How you doing? By the way, did anybody else tune in to the Gears for Breakfast stream that was happening? I think it's wrapping up right about now. That was pretty fun. There were some fun mods being showcased. Anyways, April 18th, 9:15 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Oh, and before I forget, I also should unmute my speakers because that would be sad. What? My speakers because what? That would be sad. My voice. Stop it. Stop it, Twitch. Mr. Wrong. No. Hey, Sykes. What? Why the awkward stare? You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited! This is my first real court case after all. Alright. Yeah, a real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena! Didn't you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trials jitters. By scaring the shit out of you and causing a heart attack. By scaring the daylights out of me? No, I find that shouting, I'm fine, in a loud voice really relieves stress. It also makes you look like a loony. It's part of my Cords of Steel voice workout, and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right. Here, I'll go first, then you try. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Alright, I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine. She doesn't feel any better, does she? Oh, I think that actually worked. Hello, Ravenblood. I thought it might help. Always works for me. Athena then breaks every window in the court. Just like, boom! Did another bomb go off? Well, I suppose this would have been in the past. All right. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? You have got a bundle worth of energy. Holy crap. Cords of real steel. I'm Apollo Justice, and I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. I'm Apollo Justice, and I like maymays. The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket, you two? Oh, Mr. Wright. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. Right! Can we talk about that for a second? Seriously, I have been wondering how the hell that is going to go about. You know, it's a little bit hard to just suddenly have that back. It's like, oh, okay, Mr. Wright, you can be a lawyer again. That's all? That's all? That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. But we can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. Hello, Nestor. But wow. Yeah, I remember this. I'm so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes. Yeah, he looks a lot more slick in this attire. This suit makes him look like $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Nope, and I'm scared. Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. Money, money, money. Rocking the pink tie. Yep, I'm liking the pink tie. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prison inmate and all. Probably not, honestly, knowing this game. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. I knew he was gonna be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least, I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Good luck, scrub. Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of you. Your body, that is. Yikes. Better tone down my cords of steel, too. So, are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Sure. Let's see. That's actually a really good piece of advice considering it's been 2 weeks since I've done anything with this case. But I seem to remember quite a bit of it. Like, we did some investigations involved with like, the TV listing. Oh, who wants to bet I'm going to completely forget about something? Messing with Apollo is fun. It's like having a lackey you could just kick around. Right, Mr. Wright. But I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client, seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. Swift like the wind. Or as swift as this loading bar. April 18th, 9:30 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Hello, Mr. Judge. Barp. Your beard looks extra fluffy today. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. I'd know that big, booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But who is the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner, and fresh out of law school. Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now, for the prosecution. Gone. Can we win one of these things? No, of course not. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Yep, and this guy. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Oh, yeah, right. That would be very important. Is he going to be on chains? Prison? Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time. Oh, cutscene. Oh. Let me get a good listen to what he sounds like.
An inmate.
Well. Are we playing Persona? What?
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
I'm liking the shady nature of him. Sup? Fulbright is talking. Is that who this guy is? I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Jesus, my brain. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackwell. No, the detective. Oh, okay, cool. Is the prosecution ready? Damn it, I wanted to hear your frickin' voice. Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Oh, of course, forgive me. Why are all the people related to this case so scary? Maybe I should go over the profiles. Ooh, I could do that. Hey! Dog, what's the matter? I don't know. I didn't try to skip through there. Let me take a look at the profiles. Why not? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Prosecutor and prison inmate. He has mastered the use of psychological manipulation in courtroom battles. I would feel like this individual would be particularly cool and calm. So I would kind of gun for a voice like that. Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? Well... Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. We don't know how to work outside of the, the system. Well then, your baldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do the honors? Oh, me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Let's just say yes and get on with it. Old dotards such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? That's an enigma in and of itself. How old is Udge? All these years I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. The opening statement. Let's see here. The victim was one of Rex QB, Alderman of Nine Tails Vale. And the defendant, Damien Tenma, Mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects, both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So, in a nutshell, I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Flattery will get you everywhere. He's playing Simon Says with the judge. You have powers of emotion. Help me! The ninja prosecutor. Blackwell is amazing. I know. He has a badassness attitude towards him. That's for sure. Moving right along now. Let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Oh, rightio. I remember. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I'm the detective assigned to this case. Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackwell here. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. This dude's probably the slowest draw on the face of the planet. It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around. Even old, Fulbright? Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say. Ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackwell. He's so oblivious. Pretty much everyone else is wetting themselves directly within like a 5-mile radius. Speaking of which, I think everybody needs a change of pants. Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it. But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. What a dynamic, these two, yeah. Alderman Kyubi was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Kyubi was asleep from a drug he unwittingly digested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Alderman Kyubi had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right, the accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Neat. I'm sure we'll find something incriminating there. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear. That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler, after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Oh, I could make a whole bunch of very, very blue jokes about WWE. I won't.
Objection!
Not so fast! Don't try to brush it all off by saying that Alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know. Still sounds a little far-fetched. Doesn't now. Then perhaps we should test that theory on you with the edge of my blade. Dude, are you allowed to carry a freaking sword in the courtroom? I didn't sign up for this. Hi, Tab. My day's doing pretty good. How about you? And so your life is spared. For now. Spear in the chest to seal a spear. Yeah, pretty much. Look, God, you'd be bleeding internally for at least long enough that it would be painful as all hell. Much less if you're not already dead. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. He can't draw his blade. My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. Buddy. Good God. Temp, kind of bored, so you decided to try and build a cargo ship in Minecraft without a tutorial. Oh, neat. A cruise ship. A cargo ship? You talking just... See, I've been away from Minecraft for such a long period of time that, like, my brain, for some stupid reason, immediately went to, can you actually craft a cruise ship in Minecraft? Oh, wait. Build it out of blocks. Hey, Underfell. Going pretty good. The accused prints were on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree? Your baldness?
The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute.
He has the judge leaning towards a guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tenma Taro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no reason to show interest in that backwards burg. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. That mayor is a strange one. I heard he went to a blood drive, but instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. God damn it. Order, there will be no gossiping in my court. Your baldness, please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenma Taro. And then again. Oh, are you gonna say maybe there's a wound underneath or something? Oh, perhaps he's under the demon spell. Okay, never mind. Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment. The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think. Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Yay, logic, and actually talking with our heads as opposed to our freaking guts. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Oh, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo, he has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than the statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai, to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tenma Taro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. Underfell says, bored, trying to look for something to make in Pack 3. I wouldn't know, because I don't know much in Gary's mod. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Make a puppy. I don't know how you would make a puppy, but there's an idea. Alderman Kyubi was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. So those weapons on the wall of the Fox Chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather... Who gives a shit? I will say, I do own a sword. It is a replica of the Master Sword, but it is a dulled edge, so it's not going to be slicing anybody's head off anytime soon. You know, it can't technically be classified as a sword considering that, but... I don't know. I guess, like, nobody expects murder is going to happen inside that room. No matter what he collected, the Alderman insisted it to be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale. The Alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. We've lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Now, stop your bleeding and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Use the Master Sword as a butter knife. Just pull it off of the wall. Slam, slam, slam. Oh, I wasn't planning on making breadcrumbs today, but okay, here we are. What if a real Gerudo comes into my room? I could probably bludgeon it to death with a sword. Oh, shit. Sorry, I wanted to read that. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. It doesn't make sense, if you think about it. Prince could be easily wiped off. You do have a point there. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prince because he could not. What do you mean? What, use my noggin? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't just stand there. Show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? I don't think he saw that plea for help. Feeling all right, kid? Running the fever, perhaps? I wish trials came with a reset button. Well, technically, I have a reset button. I won't use it, because I like watching your pain. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. Oh, YouTube is kind of stalling for me on my end. Is it stalling on anybody else's end? That was very strange. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Damn it. Get back there. Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. It's all right to you. Hello, Thomas. How's it going? You had to click out and back in on your end. Yeah, I saw the exact same thing. That's strange. Twitch tends to be a bit more stable if you wanted someplace more stable. But, I don't know. I've been working out a lot of kinks. I feel like YouTube's going to be okay. I don't know. The readout of the bit on, like, the bit rate on my end seems totally fine, but who knows. And this is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. I just lagged on your end. Okay. What an awful way to wake up. A rather stimulating eye-opener, if you ask me. I, too, would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge. Ravenblood says, also, switched over to YouTube because for you, it's better than Twitch. Fair enough. That's why I multi-stream to multiple places. Just because there are some cases where, for some people, their browser of choice is just better with something else. Or their internet's just weird on one service. Prosecutor Blackwell, please, those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Says the jester in detective's guise. Moving right along. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. That's an image. So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong? Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? Yeah, but I wasn't fawning over him. I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, and the collars are wrong, too. Oh, I know. How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. I don't know. Sometimes when any kind of insults are being thrown back and forth, it tends to be the insults that you don't expect to be coming that hurt the most. You know, like, you can call somebody an asshole all you want, but it hurts more when you say something that they really don't expect. Just like, what? Why? Why do you say that? But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back. Hold it! Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with a huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, then speared, was answered with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Again, I could make several WWE jokes, but I won't. Absolutely. After all, He was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. He must be pretty strong. Yes. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need.
Objection!
You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wit's flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his skewering. Sorry, water down the wrong windpipe. Shockmaster. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the alderman's fighting back sounds a bit... sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Don't choke, please. No, it's fine. Just use a gun. Okay, so now that we've seen the testimony, I'm very curious. Perhaps, since we're really on into the game, I wonder if this would be something. Cause of death, stabbed with a spear. Estimated time of death around 3:20. The victim had been a drug-induced slumber. Okay, not that. I was trying to look for, like, you know, died instantly or something. Eyewitness statement. Is there anything about the drug? Do we know anything about the drug? I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Diagrams. Special edition newspaper. Probably not talking about that. Flower. Warning charm. Yokai legend. Okay, nothing about the drug. But very specifically... Well, let's just go ahead and read that entire bit one more time real quick. So... Oh, son of a bitch. I hate doing that. Accidentally pressing it multiple times. The fever part. I don't give me hints too early here. That part about the alderman's fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. So something specifically about him fighting back is a problem. Alright. So my guess is that the thing I'm supposed to be presenting to is this. The sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. He said, do you have a fever? I don't know. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's what we're looking for here. Let's think. Something tells me it's a little bit more simple right about now. Stabbed with a spear, estimated time of death around 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. You know, could it be as simple as just drug-induced slumber? No, he really, really wouldn't have jolted awake in that case. Probably not, though. There's that stuff about the foyer, but that's not interesting, not important. There's a TV listing, probably not. Mask found washed up by the riverside. It might have been at the crime scene. White hair. Nope. I feel like that's probably something later. Oh, maybe something with this. A photo of the Fox chamber. There are bloody footprints and black feathers scattered on... see, I don't know. Let me take a look. Details. Sudden pain jolted the victim awake. Grabbed statue, struck back. The angle of this just seems like it would be broken as all hell. Maybe something to do with the demon statue. The weapon used to bludgeon the mayor. The mayor's blood was found on it. No. Oh, actually, hey, yeah. No prints could be lifted off of it. There we go. So if there were any kind of use with this as, like, you know, a defensive maneuver of some kind, don't you think there would be some fingerprints on it? Especially since the guy apparently died really soon after he had used it.
Objection!
There we go. Yep. Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Yes, sir. Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well. Let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective's statue theory. QB fought unarmed. There are no fingerprints. It's not broken! What's it made out of? Is it just straight up rock? I don't know. We've had a statue that's knocked somebody out cold before, and that didn't break. And that was probably, like, mostly just stone and maybe some paper mache. Hey, Elsie, how's it going? Oh, congrats on having a couple of games show up in the, the game, community game day. All right, no, there are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on the supposedly crucial piece of evidence. Oh, you're gonna need me to do a conductor line later. Absolutely. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? Oh, this can't be happening! Did I arrest the wrong man? Yeah, you better resign, you shithead. You did it, Apollo! You knocked Detective Fulbright off as high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. What do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, wouldn't you care to respond to the defense's assertion? Calm, cool as ever, god damn it. The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. He did it. Cuffman did it. It'll take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall the blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime? Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Shit. On your mind, boy. What? Why was there blood on the cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see the hole you thought you found, but is an illusion. Thomas says, were they supposed to make us not like him? Because I feel the exact opposite. See, I don't know. I tend to hate prosecutors, but then as time moves forward, I kind of like them. Now let's see. How was the cloth used? Was it used by QB as a head covering? To wipe up the blood? Okay. It was to wrap up the statue. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Oh! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. He knows nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. I did. Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is plain as day, son of a bitch. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Why? Oops. Okay, well now we need to ask the question, why was it wrapped up, huh? Oh, Mario moved over to the other chat. Hello. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. particularly frightening inmate once told me that he always tenderly honed his blade before he went to work, like the samurai of yore.
Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me.
Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time.
Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef?
Oh boy, he was probably having a lot of fun on, like, I don't know, just sushi day.
It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all.
I was kind of attached to that whole, now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it?
Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it.
Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please, illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer. Specifics, damn it. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you?
Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Athena, are you sure about this?
To borrow your words, Apollo,
I'm fine.
take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue.
Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed the alderman?
Monster in spirit, I suppose. That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left.
Have you been in this courtroom, sir? Sorry. Guess I got carried away.
Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense.
Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. No, listen. He does have a year of experience, and that year of experience isn't helping him in this scenario. Let's see. Yeah, he is senior of law. But I don't care. Man, sometimes your experience can cloud your judgment. Ouch, you meanie. I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it?
No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman.
Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that?
Why indeed?
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is.
Ouch! This, I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Boy, Fulbright. Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks.
What? You mean you can explain all that?
Our investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession.
Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks.
Well, simple, sir. They're all the rage in Japan and all that, This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetails helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the village's fears by fabricating a monster. Strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. I thought that said mode for a second. Like, the lettering is just a little bit fuzzy. Ditto. Ah, nice. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears? Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accused demon Tenma Taro, that is.
Tenma who?
Tenma Taro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. Yay, legends. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black feather demon, and thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations? Hey. Hold on for a second, before we start letting our imaginations run wild. I was enjoying story time, I'm sorry. Isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect?
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
On that day of the incident, there was a special event held by Kyubi Manor. And as part of the event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection.
I sense a little bit of an accent on this dude. Or it's just like very pronounced syllables.
Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games.
What?
Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow the confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus, a mentality deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection.
This guy says many large words. Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection.
The evidence speaks for itself, fool Bright.
Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers, and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of justice.
But do the people of Ninetail Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime?
Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Superstitious bastards! I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds.
That's just reminding me of the fact I talked about this in a private Discord conversation with like some good friends of mine. I've been watching a lot of those like scam caller type of things. Actually, I was talking about this on the last PC building simulator too. Just a whole bunch of like scammers over phone lines and stuff calling saying just like, oh yeah, you have a virus. Here, I'm gonna fix it for you. Oh no, turns out you need to pay this amount of money and then we will fix your computer. And then it turns out there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocents of heart are the easiest prey.
Again, just like phone scammers.
You don't say. Was the inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap.
Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? That's unfortunate.
Yes, well. Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination.
I was thinking he was going to say, it's like, well, now that the mood is really harsh, let's move on. Feathers and tracks. Entire case since on one man's... Okay, I've actually gone pretty freaking far at this point, so I think now would be a good time to save. There we go. Entire case senses on the man's attempt to crush opposition to Meditator. Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They paraded around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall claiming it was a den of vipers.
But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenmataro, the dark lord of their kind.
Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenmataro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy.
Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act?
Mayor Tenma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. The Amazing Ninetales, no one knows his true identity, right? That's right. Fancy. And he was the lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing. If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. I feel like he would have been one of the clown wrestlers. The ones that you did not take seriously at all. Like the dude that would just like run in and he would spout a whole bunch of lines. Like basically the Miz before he got popular. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackwell. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Nine Tails. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenma Taro has them shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious lot is as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his daughter buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks. Get this filthy samurai weeb out of this court. Oh, give him his time. The strange feathers and tracks he planted wait, son of a bitch. I keep thinking that says mode. Made it look like a yokai was the killer. Hello, Franco. How's it going? But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Yukubi? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So, Your Honor agrees that there was no reason for the murder, correct? Objection. Let me win, damn it! Perhaps the killing was spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Kyubi's secret identity. Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out the Alderman's secret identity! How long can he hold that face? I don't know. Underfell puts a bolt on a sniper and points it into the room at BQ. I gotta back up. Nobody's killing anybody today. There's already one person dead. And he is speared. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the Amazing Nine Tails. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my! But why would it have been there? The Honor, being as daft as ever. The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Poke, poke, think, think. Need I say more? Or is it someone with yellow hair? I'm trying to think of like... Nobody in our profiles has yellow hair, do they? I'll let that one sit with everybody. Well, could it really be?
Your baldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim Rex Cubey was the amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of such was his motive for murder. No! I really do wish that I could read this stuff a little bit clearer. Damn you, 3DS, and having such a tiny resolution screen. It's a clown, it's obvious. Order! Order! What a shocking development! A motive clearer than crystal clear! What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your baldness? Can you just say your honor like a regular human being? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona, just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Very astute of you, your baldness. Right, now take a look at this. Oh god. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetail Vale with Tenma Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your... I assume that's like career or something. As good as dead. Damn it! This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Cubey's pocket! What? Okay, crap. At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence that Mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Oh shit, his wife. Okay, that's what was happening. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up in a creek without a paddle. Well, shoot. Does anybody have a nice twist that I could borrow? An M. Night Shyamalan? Mayor Tenma would have made a clear getaway if he just left after planning the yokai things, but he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the Amazing Ninetales. So it was the Amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire crime to light. Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence, and that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Ooh, hello. Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. That sounds freaking important. Give me a second. Directed by M. Night Shish Kebab. I don't know. All I can think is that one little Karibo, oh jeez. Naruto, the abridged movie. M. Night Shyamama Llama. Alright, killed sleeping alderman after... Alright, let's see this. So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after? Absolutely, and then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that. Something's not right here. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. We have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. And we're gonna need to prove that Mayor Tenma didn't plant that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? Very simple, I think. In theory. Mayor Tenma killed sleeping alderman after planting the feathers. Okay, so clearly we need to present something on this. But, what would that be? I wonder if maybe the picture would have something in it at this stage. Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. Well, let's take a gander at this. If the murder would have happened... If the murder would have happened after he planted all this shit, don't you suppose that the blood wouldn't have been below the feathers? It would have been on top?
I might be thinking entirely wrong on this, but...
Objection!
Oh, maybe I'm not. I played too many of these games. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Oh, yeah. Yes, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is the crime scene photo. And just what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence that was knocked out while killing a victim. Yeah. After a while, it's simple to spot contradictions. Yeah, very true. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. Again, I would have to say... I see that these feathers are on top of the pile, so I'm gonna have to go with that. Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene. Yeah, there must be some mistake. Not quite, you son of a gun. Order! I've never seen him actually slam the gavel before. It looks very pathetic when you actually just see the motion. Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness testimony for you. You do? But how? That's so pathetic. Is my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard. Is it just me, or has Apollo gotten better at this? Well, he's been doing this for about a year. I would say, probably.
Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks.
For some reason, I want to have Thanksgiving dinner. Why do I want Thanksgiving dinner? It's very strange. Anybody else famous for birds? Wait, we're at a crime scene. It's like we're at a court of law.
Will somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means.
You dare mock this court of injustice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy. Your baldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Thanksgiving court. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please, hear me out.
Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears. But you'd better explain yourself well.
Just as soon as I say it, Your Honor.
What was this yokai you were talking about?
It's all in this statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro. Actually, jeez, I need like a drink of water or caffeine or both. After she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around a corner in the hall. It was around here. Bok, bok, bok! That she saw Tenma Taro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. Whoa! How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? The defense just proved there was someone else. So the mayor isn't the killer? Was it all set up? The prosecutor is a convicted man. Apollo, the moment has shifted in our favor. Momentum, rather. Good. Now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Ooh, what a fancy objection. The fanciest from the fancy samurai.
Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken.
My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Thomas says the pursuit theme for this game is one of his favorites. Ooh, it does sound pretty good.
Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled towards the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him.
Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it.
Both Phineas Filch and Florent LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination?
Why didn't those two see the Tenmataro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. I swear, I have a brain. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something.
I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster, or did she see the boogeyman? I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackwell. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
Of course he is.
I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. Tanuki, rather. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will.
Ravenblood says, I might just be dumb, but is there a pun in Florent LaBelle's name that I'm missing? I'd like to know if there's a pun in his name too. Let me think about that. Florent LaBelle. Florent LaBelle. It's probably going to have something to do with a piece of evidence sometime later on in the case. That tends to be exactly it. Did he just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know.
Very well then, bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him into the witness stand.
Hey, you bastard. Florent means in flowers. Ah, thank you, Mario. I mean, that's absolutely fitting for him.
Will the witness state his name and occupation, please?
The name's Filch. Phineas Filch, caretaker of Cuban Manor.
Oh, and,
this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like.
Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes! And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch.
It's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Albright?
Don't tell me Filch stole them again.
They're all yours, your honorship, sir.
What? But they seem awfully expensive.
Yep, it's too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your honorship.
It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I cannot accept such gifts.
Ah, ethics, smithics. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you, too. We don't take bribes here, sir.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tenmataro in the foyer after the murder.
Of course I didn't. And that's the end of my testimony. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guests. I was still in my office, keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no siree.
yokai you keep yabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams.
So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenmataro?
Yep.
Was guarding the whole time. That's the truth. The whole only truth and nothing butter the truth. Nutter butter the truth, rather. And Tenmataro? You don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do you? I certainly don't. My bracelet. It's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. It's sentient. Really? So you think Mr. Tanuki, Filch has been lying to us?
I wouldn't rule it out.
Frankie in the chat says, I don't believe him.
Now, if I could just zero in on a tell, some sort of nervous habit.
Holy mother of fuck, wait, eagles! What's a hawk doing in here? Oh, good. That adds to more your anime character.
Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made his new home, in fact.
He doesn't live with you, you know, in jail. Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird?
Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard.
Barb. Oh, son of a bit. Hey. This is illegal in court. I won't be able to spot squat like this. What the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills! Le Barb. No pets or animals allowed in this courtroom. Somebody help. Oh, it's fine. It's not like he's gonna peck any hair off your head.
Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
In that case, Prosecutor Black will ensure your feather friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Tenmataro there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination. Get this crazy burb off my head. At the time of the murder, I was guarded for you, like Mr. Kubi asked. Plenty Stuff says, no animals in this courtroom. There was a parrot in here once! Very true. Mr. Filch, why did Alderman Kyubi have you handle guard duty? Because he trusts me. I am the manor's caretaker, after all. So, you took said guard duty seriously? Let me tell you something about me.
Listen here, you little Tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer, and not else.
Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir.
Blackwell's got him completely under his thumb.
Like I said, I was guarding the foyer entrance that day. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guests. So no one could get to him? Sounds like security was pretty tight. Frankie says, napping in the lobby, dark circles around eyes. I propose he suffers from narcolepsy and has been sleeping on the job the entire time. Oh god, if only that worked. Underfell says, want to send something, Drew, with mouse? I mean, send it over to the Discord. I mean, that's one of the easier ways that I could probably check it out. That's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival time. And the solution was to entrust the manor security to a thief? That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one. After all, it takes one to know one. It just reminds me of the old show that used to be on Discovery Channel called It Takes a Thief, where they would, like, send a thief, like, a master freaking thief into the house, and all that jazz. I very much remember that. Ooh. That is very neat. The animator. I see. Nice. I don't know, it seems more like letting the fox guard the hen house to me. Yep. And that fox is hungry as hell. So the witness testifies that he took his guard duties seriously? Yes, sir, your honorship, sir. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened at 3 p.m. Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time? Poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy suit and silly haircut. Hey, God, sorry, Mr. Blackwell, sir. Didn't mean to get off subject here. Sheesh, Blackwell didn't even say anything. To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the foyer. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no sirree. What do you think is out of the ordinary, sir? Would you describe to the court who you would who you would consider fishy looking? Yes. Someone all fidgety and shaky like, you know, like they're about to steal something, like you? He just described himself. I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Tenmataro. Maybe Jinxie only thinks she saw Tenmataro, or maybe Mr. Filch is lying. And if he's lying, we might be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. Very well, and it looks like we can't use any superpowers. Somebody get some buckshot and shoot that bird! Perhaps, like, simply enough, perhaps it could just be a layout thing. Foyer diagram of the foyer including the office used by the caretaker, and perhaps that could potentially be something. Screw it, let's try it. Objection. Nope. That statement clearly contradicts the evidence. I object to your personal grounds. The sole contradiction lies in what your faulty logic dreamt up just now. Objection overruled. The defense will think twice before making such erroneous statements. It seems that statement didn't particularly conflict with the evidence. So, my only other guess would have to be TV listing, Filch's TV program. And funny enough, does this red circle mean that he circled it? And if that's the case, I think we might have something on him. Objection! Damn it. Consider the evidence. There's obviously something wrong with that statement. Your gall knows no bounds. It's shocking, really. What's that supposed to mean? You stand there brazenly objecting to perfectly factual statements. One does not see such shameless behavior and that often. A penalty for our shameless attorney. So, yeah, maybe it's like a misplaced thing. Let's try. Objection! Piss! The evidence is a complete odds with the witness's testimony. Pathetic. Your baldness. Who, me? What did you make of the objection of his? Oh, I don't know if I should, I've no patience for vulgarities. Now answer my question. Yes, sir. The defense's objection was clearly misguided. Bravo. Nicely done. Oh, seems our misguided attorney has earned himself a penalty. Better look before I leap next time. I have been looking several times. I've been thinking. Oh, there's a consult button now. You know what? I have never used the consult button. Let's try. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. Too bad I'm drawing a blank. There was a statement that I thought was a little strange, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. But go ahead and tell me. Which statement would it be, since I'm not the one betting my life on it? Okay, if you must know, I'll show you the one I'm thinking of. Time to swallow my pride and lend a hand. There must be an inconsistency in the testimony Athena's pointing out. Okay. So that made it extra easy. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened. Oh, okay. Still, oh, wait. In his office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. Shit. I feel like now the proper one would probably have something to do with this.
Objection!
Yep. Shit. I was on point, but I didn't think about it properly. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. That's one of the things that really pisses me off about the Phoenix Wright games and the Ace Attorney games as a whole. Like, you might have the answer, but you don't know how to talk about it to the game itself. Hey, it ain't right to bushwhack a fellow like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled, something you'd never miss. Yeah, I didn't watch that one. No, sirree. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Yipes. Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So, do you admit to slacking off? You can't trick me with your rude poo lawyer talk. I'm one of them professional types too. I can do double duty watching TV in the foyer at the same time. The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief. Mr. Justice, I wouldn't even say he's a professional thief. You would have this court believe the witness was slacking off. That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bold-faced lie. Bald, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice? And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now, prove it. Okay, now I think what I could possibly do here is show this, because the diagram shows it's very hard to watch both of them at the same time. Please take a look at the direction of the TV is facing in the diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time. Why, yes, someone watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance. Exactly. And that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claimed. The cat's out of the bag's out of the cat. Oh, God, that even flummoxed me. No, I mean the other way around. You know, the funny thing is that nowadays, somebody could probably get away with this just because a whole lot of, like, security systems are built in with multiple cameras on one screen. And then the security camera screen is probably sitting, you know, kitty corner side by side with, I don't know, another screen doing something else. And you could rig it up to be watching security and watching soaps at the same time. Order, order, order! But, Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case? It's very relevant, because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tenmataro impersonator in the foyer.
Objection.
What now?
Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered.
What are you talking about?
Good, Polly. This.
I'm not a mind reader.
Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki?
Yeah, they were. I mean, yes, they were. But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't? My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer floor and the stairway get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon.
So you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by?
Yep, my ears were working full time, so who's the liar now? You no good shyster.
The lion thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my fledgling career.
Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing, and them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine.
Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taka is particularly fond of Tuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu.
Please, don't eat me, Mr. Taka, sir. Again, I call like every single objection on the planet to get that freaking bird out of here. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony again. Very well, we'll shoot all this stuff down too. And my black magic is better. You know what? At least it's not physically harming people. It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floors, there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So, you see, there weren't no Tenmataro in the foyer. Oh, sure. Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. We must use common sense, for lacking that, our entire world would be but upside down. Says the convict prosecutor, who is totally a sign of the end times for the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming around, I'd nab them and sell them to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking with my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Tenmataro, the mayor's sure to be convicted. Then we'd better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs. Again, BBs might actually work for taking out the freaking bird. The defense may cross-examine. He's not a very good liar. Got good enough that he knocked me down a couple pegs. It's true, I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. Hold it! You are paid for your work, aren't you? So, how do you justify watching TV on the job? It ain't easy being me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors, and there's no way to record stuff. Boy, welcome to the internet age where there is, like, countless amounts of clips on YouTube, and also TiVo, for God's sakes. Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you over the your first world problems? If those are his only problems, he should consider himself lucky. Now I guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Filch. Frankie says, Tenmataro is a bird. The board wouldn't creak if he flew out. Interesting. So you think Polly had a spear? And black feathers for one moment? Actually, no. This would have been the other way around. This would have been the statue. My eyes might have been slacking off of my ears. They were working overtime. Hold it. There's a peck neck inbound. You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, that. Ain't no harm in bending the truth, little rat. Oh! Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forged tongue of yours. Yay, Screech. Sorry, just let me keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him, in case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir. I was, sir. But it ain't like that. Floor there's all creaky, squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. Hold it.
So, you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch.
As good as they come, I say. Ain't nothing to hear a cracky floor. Plus, that Temataro makes a sound when he goes by. Like a jingle jangle.
Jingle, jangle? How does he do that?
Here's that stuff of his. That's what jingle jangles.
What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me. I guess Temataro has a staff that makes noise.
Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Temataro holding a staff-like object that made a jangling sound.
I guess that's the source of the noise, then.
Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Temataro jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information?
Oh yes, very important, sir. Or at least, to this game it probably is. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony.
If Temataro was to pass by, his staff would have gone jangle, jangle, jangle.
Yin Yang hair dude isn't scary. He's just a pathetic human sesame. Yeah. So Temataro's staff makes a distinctive sound?
Yep, like a jingle and a jangle.
Wait, Jinxie said something like that? Something about Temataro making a jangling sound? I think we're missing something here, but I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps I should take a look at the card record again.
So, you see, there weren't no Temataro in the foyer.
I don't know why I'm pushing on this one, but please tell the court, what did Jinxie see if not Temataro?
She's always going on about seeing this yokai or that. Just an act of imagination, I reckon. She won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster.
Can't say I blame her. It's a mix of cesspit and scum. Ah, I get you. So, Mr. Filch, you'd chalk it up to a child's act of imagination?
Yep. No Temataro or anyone else got in or out of Cupid Manor on my watch.
Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. But if we were to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover Filch's, right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Interesting, okay. Well, the only thing that even says anything about the jingle jangle is Jinxie's statement. So I would have to guess that this is probably what we're trying to point out.
Objection!
Or not! Consider the evidence. There's obviously something wrong with that statement.
Your gall knows no bounds. Shocking, really.
What's that supposed to mean?
You stand there brazenly objecting to perfectly factual statements. One does not see such shameless behavior that, oh God, a penalty for shameless attack.
Shit. Does it have anything to do with that door? Like, maybe the caretaker could have been locked in his office and therefore wouldn't have heard a single fucking thing. That's all I got.
Objection!
Nope. Consider the evidence. There's obviously something wrong with that statement.
Your girl knows no bounds, and I've already read the statement before, son of a bitch. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's argument is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma, guilty.
Oof. Oof. Okay. So where does it set me after I press try again? I seem to remember it sets me somewhere very, very convenient. I don't really want to say anything about this. I have a strange suspicion that this would not be it. Meh.
Objection!
Nope. Okay, wrong. Yeah, the only thing I could possibly think is that special edition paper. So let's see.
Objection!
Ah, nope. Damn it. We know for a fact that this is what we're needing to present on. The scroll?
Objection!
It is the scroll, what? Alright, game, preach away. What the heck are you talking about? Tamataro's staff would make a jangly sound, you say. Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up. Is there something the defense would like to share with the court? Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Tamataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Tamataro would be holding a staff? Yeah. You see, the Tamataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands. And she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yeah, so he was holding the staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Tenmataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, I see. Okay, and the legend didn't have a staff. Okay, that's correct. I thought maybe tangentially the newspaper, but there we go. He got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. You see, this is the only known document depicting Tenmataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right, there's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick. Yeah. So the question is, why does the witness think Tenmataro uses a staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well now, this is getting interesting. All right, Mr. Justice. It's time to show the court where you're going with this. Hold on. Thank you for holding, Your Honor. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Tenmataro carries a staff. The scroll is wrong. He actually saw Tenmataro. Filch is a scatterbrain. I mean, both of these are true, but... Mr. Filch actually saw Tenmataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. Busted again! Bloody hell, you disrespect... I didn't read the rest of that. Yes, how'd that feel, Blackwell? Not so fun when you're the one on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Tenmataro that day, didn't you? Well? I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Tenmataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No, can't do. No way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit seeing Tenmataro, even though everyone already knows he did. The question now is, why? Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. Can we use your emotion thingy? They say you must not gaze upon Tenmataro, but in the event that you do, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tenmataro will claim your soul. Oh, so you are a superstitious asshole. Gotcha. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Tenmataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Tenmataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait. You think Filch believes that too? Yeah, so Mr. Big Time City Slicker Lawyer has heard about him. Them old village superstitions. Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about? The people of Nine Tails Vale believe some pretty strange things, and their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tenmataro. Darn straight, that's why. It's all right here. Ah, neat. Do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Do not tell others if you've seen him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. If you immediately if Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Oh dear. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. See, that's why us folks in Ninetail Vale can't talk about seeing Tenmataro. All right, well now we have actual proof to the effect. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Tenmataro costume. They knew that that way, no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. The defense holds that this Tenmataro impersonator is the true killer. Whoa! Yarp.
Objection.
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale so easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection.
Ah, I love the guitar in this song. Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackwell.
Objection.
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection.
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetail Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer. Freaking love the shackles.
Order, I say! You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now, your lies have cost me!
Sorry! I promise not to do it again! Really? You're seriously going to think, like, I wouldn't trust a snake, are you kidding me?
Taka, my fine feathered friend, have at him.
He's gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! That's one way to get somebody out of court. He took off.
Bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him, and with your fastest men.
That's certainly not something you see every day. Right, are we going to end up getting him back, or are we kind of screwed from on that front?
Well, it would seem a new and important fact has come to light. A third party disguised as the yokai Tenmataro was at the scene, and now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Shite. Oh, God. Stoic. Oh, boy.
Oh! Whoa! Huh? Go!
He's shackleless. His shackles, rather. He's shackleless.
I'm too young to die! Justice Dono, long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best say your prayers.
Of course, and the judge is immediately off. Like, oh God!
I'm too old to die.
Wait. Again, I feel like everybody in this court needs to run.
Detective, do something!
Have no fear, Fulbright is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going.
Objection.
Who gave the convict a weapon? That's what I want to know. Get going already before he kills us. Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell, for it is his sense of justice that sets him free.
Objection! I object! Detective Fulbright's definition of justice! Heading onto the desk!
Silence.
Oh, silence.
I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Oh, well, In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, can I ask you to, you know...
I think the judge forgot he's in charge here.
So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Tenma Taro is the real killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime.
Right. And that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman Kyubi.
Silence.
Let me chat.
Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber?
What? He's right. She said nothing about Tenma Taro being in the Fox Chamber.
Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door.
And your point is?
Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewered murder victim, the Alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor.
No, there must have been someone dressed up like
Then, why does that little scamp claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox Chamber? Considering her father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she say Tenma Taro inside the Fox Chamber?
There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long as my blade thirsted for blood, as long last it shall be sated.
Wait, this is still a trial, right?
Nope, it's an execution. Show me what you're truly capable of, Justice Dono.
Sick off your bird.
Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup, so the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Go.
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess?
Just so, plenty of time if... just so. Plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh, at least include enough time to wash her hands. His bird. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished. There.
Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? Oopsie boopsie. Ace Attorney birds are amazing. Yeah, definitely.
Ah!
Murdering.
Shoot the pack neck.
April 18th, 10:40 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You really brought out the samurai in him. A burbtion. Why does this judge still have a job? They're soft with him. They know he means well. Especially after you proved there was a Tenma Taro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act anyway?
Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel.
No, wait! Let's save the dueling until we have to prove your innocence.
I suppose I could wait till later.
Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? This is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. There is no sense or logic here. Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackwell said. Apollo, don't be late. Put on some ballistic gear. No fear then. I don't know, considering we had a bomb go off before. April 18th, 10:43 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at Cuby Manor. I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is.
Terrified, but she's ready.
Narayan, leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist.
Wow, that is one well-polished tray.
The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. Oh dear. Oh, what is it, my child?
Be gone, Narayan, leader of the 100 demons.
You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will.
My charm has no effect.
The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Please tell me you'll keep your bird, like, where it is.
Now, you little scamp.
Yes?
I trust you will know why you're here.
Yeah, you know why you're here, rather.
Bags.
Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki.
Try the noodle stand, and go enjoy a bowl of tanuki tail noodle while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian.
No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azukari away.
Azukari? The yokai who washes azuki beans? The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off.
Azukari often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Why are you two being all chummy with each other? Seriously, I figured you'd be most terrified of this guy, and yet everybody else seems to be terrified of him. Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together these two are just plain creepy.
Your testimony, if you please, Mr. Tenma. Miss Tenma, rather. Holy shit, what is wrong with me? Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene.
Well, she said she did, but what did she actually see?
Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox chamber? Well, when I opened the door...
Mind control.
I saw... Yes, now I remember! Yokai! Yokai! Right there in that room!
That's all we're gonna get. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime.
Lots and lots of them!
Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenma Taro happen to be among them?
I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Norakabi, Sato Taisho, they were all there.
Well, this was an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp testimony? Yeah.
Ooh. Hello. Your Honor! I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea. Please proceed, Mr. Sykes.
You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed?
Please, keep the bird nested on your shoulder.
It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land.
I'll show you. And here comes the sequence that I think gets content ID'd, so this should be fun to edit. I don't know if it was just like that one instance or if it's just a whole bunch of them, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, it's terrified as all hell.
Did I see Tenmataro in the fox chamber? But when I opened the door, I saw... Now I remember! Yokai! Right there, in that room!
Found something. Looks like an out-of-control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa! You mean that little thing can do all this?
Pretty cool, huh?
And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit at the bottom left there? Yeah. She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. Oh, I see, because I can't see all the other ones. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. Oh, that sounds like terror in a nutshell. Overbearing everything else. A constant, like, Mobius loop and stretch of nothing but terror. Maybe we can finally, yeah, when we finally get her to see a therapist, we can actually get to know her for real. Is this magic as well? Nope, it's psychology, apparently. So all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions? Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. All right, the terror horse has been beaten enough. Time to solve the problem. So she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now, let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Crazy Kitten. Start by tapping probe on the bottom screen. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Finally, tap probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, probe, and you? Cat monster on Wheel of Fire. What are you? Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on a Wheel of Fire?
That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recent deceased. I bet it came to steal the almonds.
It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Do you? Because I don't. I mean, probably a chandelier. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Would you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? Oh, yes, this room. That guy.
The light fixture?
This one right here. It has a flame design and it's up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. Sense. Okay, so that was just a lantern. And now we have a whole bunch of other stuff in this room, too. That's one memory. Back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster?
This Nurikabi is a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray.
That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. Oh, cool. We don't have to go through the rigmarole. And this raccoon dog isn't a Tanuki monster. It's just the statue of one. Haha. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here is nothing more than a fox statue.
I don't know what I was thinking!
Well, she broke her... I was just going to say, it like reflection, it's not really a mirror, it's just a really shined up plate. Regardless, 7 years bad luck.
You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai after all.
See, a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right, there never really were any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion? Oh, screw you. Wait, Jinxie, what about Tenmataro?
There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenmataro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now.
You've gotta be joking! What a regular old sitcom. Down, bum. Order in the court. I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. I don't even care anymore. Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. Now I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. Oh wait, it's Windows Update. Oh, it's gonna take like 3 hours. Did I see Tenmataro? Okay, there's a surprise look. I was so scared when I entered the room. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. There in the Fox Chamber, I saw Shiver, the alderman, dead on a table, and Papa collapsed in a chair. Nobody else was there, and that includes Tenmataro. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Try to find the emotion that contradicts her statement. So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out. That's right, but it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in an emotion's intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotions change throughout the testimony. Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Oh dear. The prosecution would have to be insane to allow this. Yeah, maybe. The alderman dead on a table. Papa collapsed in a chair. Nobody else was there, and that includes Tenmataro. Alright. So, what would it be then? So scared when I entered the room. Tenmataro in the Fox Chamber? I'm trying to remember, like, I'm trying to see, like, what would be really odd about this? Nobody else was there, and that includes Tenmataro. Why are you still scared, madam? Hold on. I mean, you probably should still be scared, but... This seems like an unnatural reaction. Really? Because I don't see it that way. So it isn't unexpected given her testimony? Hello, is there anybody in here? Just nod if you can hear me. Yes, there's someone at home, and that someone is going to try that again. Nuts. Okay. So scared, enter the room. My legs gave out, but I fell to the floor. Wait, why are you not as scared when you fell to the floor? There's a good question. What are you doing? The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear?
Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment.
You did? Where did it come from?
Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me.
Okay, I'll enter a sudden burst of courage. All right, let's see. Oh, look! Neat. Apollo, the noise is all gone! Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Goody goody. Maybe we can get a straight answer out of these people. A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage?
Yes, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later.
Any idea what could have given Jinxie the courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? Flower, found only in Ninetail Vale. Boosts Jinxie's courage, because it was her mother's favorite. That was pretty straightforward. Oh, no signal. What are you talking about? Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a nine-tailed flower there at the scene, did you?
The demon lawyer strikes again! I can't hide anything from you! I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tailed flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it.
You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene. That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant.
Sorry!
It does seem to be some sort of case. Well, oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your baldness? The eagle's gonna take it from him. That's great. This is none other than the master key to Cuby Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. The master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No! Shoot. Thank you. How could this happen? Hold yourself, lady. The defense's assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations. Athena, are you alright? It was the girl the whole time. I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do.
This sucks.
Sykes, Dono, allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clear conscience come rushing in.
This sucks.
That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Don't let him mess with you. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not gonna fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks.
Now I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight.
Hey, are you alright?
He fell right into his trap.
Now, I suggest you make a mad dash for the courtroom and into the Wild Blue Yonder. But only by running shall your mind be clear and your conscience cleansed.
Alright, I'll be back in 10. Shit. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by this samurai.
Apollo!
Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you're objecting to? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else.
Though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena.
The court is waiting, Mr. Justice. Though, as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty on your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo, you do have something more than your cords of steel, don't you?
Not really, but we'll be fine.
But
I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't.
Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box.
Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is, too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument?
Save!
You bet I do! Oh, whoops.
Oh no, it's working. Cool. For some reason, I thought the microphone was off again. Underfell says, how much sweat is in this game? A pool could be filled at this point. Lots of perspiration. It's a very, very sweaty pool.
The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vain conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono.
Time to do or die, literally. Black magic and fake signs. That's why I love it.
The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
Well, again, black magic and fake signs. You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened?
I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning.
So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. Underfell says, why not call in a 15-foot man to elbow slam the barbecue man? As for an air vent, it's up too high, and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the Forbidden Chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, and why we gotta keep the solution simple. Oh wait, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. Oh, Ravenblood says, I've been away for a bit. Are we still questioning Filch? No, now we are questioning the daughter and attempting to try and figure out what the heck she saw. We need to rule out all the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the killer escaped through here. All right. Let's try and work this out. The ductwork, there is no way to escape from it. You cannot go into the Forbidden Chamber because it's locked. The window is not capable of being opened. I mean, the only thing I can think is that the killer must have escaped through that door in some capacity, but how he would have escaped is beyond me. Well, I got health. I can definitely try this out. I feel like I need to sneeze. I hold it off for now. Let me think about this. The killer escaped through... SNES incoming. It's fine. I'm okay for now. The only way I could possibly think of being able to do this would be going through the air duct, but I don't see that being possible. I think I'm just going to try some stuff, because why the heck not? Impending doom incoming. You got that right. Did she lock the door on the way out? I don't imagine she did. But again, we're trying to figure out how the murderer would have escaped this room, and this is like before she would have shown up. Screw it, air duct. And just how did the killer escape through there, Mr. Justice? Your reasoning skills seem as questionable as your proposed escape route. I wish I could escape right now. I'm afraid there's no escaping a penalty for your random guessing, Mr. Justice. Could I try that one again? I'm a little bit, just a little bit broken in my own head about, like, what the order of events actually is, too. But you know what? This is good, because I have not dealt with an Ace Attorney game that has flummoxed me this bad in a very long time. Again, I have options. Let me try this. The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox chamber and then lock it without a key? I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution had some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. I'm fine! I can explain myself! The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked because Tenma locked it from inside. It locked on its own. Interesting. Mayor Tenma locked it himself after the killer fled the scene, just in case the killer decided to return. That would explain why the room was locked. Yes, I see. Then again, wouldn't Mayor Tenma have mentioned that himself? Oh, maybe it slipped his mind because of that blow to his head? Okay, nope, messed that one up. I have already considered an investigation and investigated such possibilities. You have? The mayor's fingerprints were not found on the door or its knob. The only fingerprints found belonged to the alderman. Ergo, the mayor did not so much as touch the door. What? I was asking a genuine question there. Why did I get a penalty for that? Okay, then how about the reason the Fox Chamber hallway door was locked? Because... Alright, if we were going to go for the most spiritual option in this situation, I kind of wonder if maybe it locked on its own. Maybe the door closes automatically on its own.
The killer would never be identified if we attributed key moments to mere chance. Perhaps that spear just happened to fly off the wall and impaled the alderman too. And perhaps the sedative just happened to make its way to his coffee. Mere chance could explain any number of things. Right, next idea then. I failed. But you know what? I've worked all the other options out, so I'm fine with that. The reason the Fox's chamber hallway door was locked was because the perp locked it from outside. And he somehow managed to kill him from inside, from outside the place. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it up. Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from the room is a blatant contradiction of the facts. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both. Like, how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from the outside. Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Slipped in when the door was open. Threw it in from outside. Changed the lock. You can't slip it in when the door was open, because how would you lock the door in that case? You can't change the lock out of nowhere. They threw it in from the outside. What if someone threw it in from the outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window? That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There's a cliff outside Fox Chambers' window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. Joke! I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? Oh, absolutely, and I know where you're gunning with this. The air duct. The air vent? Yes. The window may be out of the question, but the air vent is not. Oh, that's right, the Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. That is confusing as all shit. Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. It sounds a little bit far-fetched as shit, but okay. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. I think we all are. Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. Was that an insult? Yeah, that's what that looked like. First, the real killer, disguised as Tenmataro, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do after that was go back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing. Even I could follow that. And I'm a toddler in an old man's outfit. The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenmataro, and there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Hey, it looks like that lawyer has beaten the jailbird prosecutor. Whoa, that was a total turnabout. What massive forehead of his seems so... Oh my god. Text. Order, 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 I say! Now that I proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client can be guilty.
Silence.
I don't know if that's really proof, but okay. A valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh. Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door?
That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from... Ow!
But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer's security camera, that is.
Right, does anybody have the freaking footage of that?
The electric eye here would have captured on any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there's no sign of Temataro anywhere in the security footage.
Well, what?
Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there?
I don't feel so good. Wait! I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera.
Hey, you're right.
Silence.
Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one.
None! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window?
What the heck? Right.
I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai.
If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Oh, I missed that entire thing. Hold on. Here, I'm waiting for it to... Who's to say we don't, as completely far-fetched as that might be. Thank you, stream lag. Here. I dropped my bottle cap. What? You're saying you can prove the killer can fly? Whoa, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Your Honor.
What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
Oh my freaking god. I would say that's pretty good. Take a look at this special edition paper.
Tenmataro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice?
The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in this photo is the killer shortly after they fled out the window.
Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting...
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Temataro flew away. You know, by some way or another. Somehow.
It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice.
Okay then, how about the Temataro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air?
No, there is a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai, our tricksy Tanuki witnessed, never reached the entrance. He, or should I say, she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit.
I knew it was coming to this eventually.
Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at that time.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants, and the appearance of the Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. Oops. Ah, no! Trouble. Order, order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever! The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way?
Kinda. I'm a foolish idiot, but okay. Did we fall right into his trap?
What do we do now, Apollo?
Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff Caesar, it is time I interrogated her as the samurai of your wood.
Do not kill. Hold it. Who said hold it? Oh, hello, Daddy.
Mayor Tenma! This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up more foul? Tenma Taro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor, it would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you'd been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce.
Don't tug at his strings, you shithead.
Confess? The defendant intends to confess? Wait!
Apollo, Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again.
Stop using don't use the Jedi mind trick, you asshole.
Mayor Tenma, no.
Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone.
The real killer is...
Mayor Tenma's gonna confess unless we do something! But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away!
Somebody drop, a nugget of information. What the fuck? What? No, god fucking damn it.
Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time of my return.
Uh-oh. I should have watched what I wished for. Shoot.
Foolish mortals! I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek.
Mayor Tenma.
Silence! I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King!
What the... Demon King?
Well then, I think it's time for me to, take vacation!
The judge needs 20 vacations at this point. Burp man!
The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro? The yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek. Come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? What nonsense!
So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now?
Gah! His body is mine now. So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Filch saw, and the one captured in the newspaper photo, that was all you? The accursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form. Your boldness! Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. What? You claim that yokai, that little scamp saw, was some third party, the true killer, the one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be real in a manner of speaking. For the alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene, that too was Mayor Tenma. Or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have all fallen into place. Yeah, but this is a jumbled up puzzle if I've ever seen one. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? Seems I must spell it out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charge from the forbidden chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charge's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father, possessed by Tenma Taro.
Objection!
But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have been flown out by... had flown out the foyer window? Then what do you mean to say the maid of Kyubi Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Jesus Christ. I don't even know. Oh. Yeah. This is a tangled web we weave. That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time, did I? But presently, tired, I made for the forbidden chamber. Blessed exhaustion took me unawares in the fox chamber, and I knew no more. It would seem the pieces are still in place. No, I refuse your puzzle. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real live... So that rumor about Mayor Tenma is true? I knew yokai were real. You mean he really did kill the alderman just so he could release Tenma Taro? Order! Order! This three-ring circus needs to stop! Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. It's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty, your baldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
No, they can't, Your Honor. Set him free. Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I've no choice but to... What do you want now, Eagle Man? This is the dark age of law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dunno.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence!
Silence!
Then prove it by joining me.
A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation.
Oh, God. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything?
We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but...
Oh, wow, whoa, electricity, huh? Is there a Pikachu in here? What's wrong with him?
Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that.
What the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner?
Seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave.
You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackwell.
Fulbright looks like he'd be a Pokemon trainer. Either that or a gym leader.
Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior.
Bit late with the reassurance, aren't we, Detective? And also, he has thrown several weapons at us before you actually set that off.
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned.
Thank the freaking Lord. To be continued. Yeah, we need to go and we need to find some, like, evidence or anything to that degree. That is for dang sure. But we have gone on for about 3 hours now. I think that was a pretty good trial, and I think we can cover this why the hell not? Sure. We can cover this on the next stream of this that I do. Ooh, and the next time we are going to be showing up in the Wright Anything Agency. Gotcha. But yes, it has been a long stream tonight. I think we are going to get a move on here. 3 hours of deliberation and pretty much nothing has been established.
Yep.
Well, yeah, Phoenix Wright, where I'm trying to think of a Who's Line joke. I don't know. Where the clients are crazy and the interrogations don't matter.
It's the monsters.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm probably going to have to edit this one down. So thanks everybody who came out here. If you want to take a look at it after it's done, I'm going to be uploading this to the YouTube channel. Except, yeah, I'm going to be cutting down a whole bunch of the parts where I got stupidly stuck. And also, like 1 or 2 other things. Again, depending on whether or not any of that Content ID stuff happens again, which happened on the first video I tried to upload, I'm going to have to just edit and edit and edit until eventually it works. But anyway, I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. You should probably expect next Saturday to be another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney stream. And we can see the, the next part to this little weird mystery. Tomorrow, I was thinking about doing another round of Smash. However, I'm not entirely sure what I should be doing in the next one. Well, here's the thing. The Piranha Plant recently came out. So I do have that to do, but I don't know. I'm starting to get a little bit like, I don't want to burn myself out too much on that. I do kind of want to space it out a bit, but I'm not sure. I might just do Smash just because I feel like doing that. And then on Wednesday, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing next Wednesday. I thought about doing... Oh, I don't know. I don't really have a plan for Wednesday. I will figure that out when it gets there. But that will be later. Gmod shenanigans. I don't know. I'm not all that interested in Gmod stuff personally. I do know that there's a whole bunch of games that I really do need to get to. I have bought several games that I'm just kind of sitting on. I'm just waiting for me to feel like playing them. And maybe one of these days I'm going to boot it up. I mean, I've already gone through One Shot. That's all done, finished. And several other games that I've pretty much entirely finished. So I'm looking forward to diving into some other stuff. I really should. It's okay. It's been long enough. In reference to what? I don't even really know. I said a whole bunch of games there.
Maybe more PC building stuff. Just throwing ideas out. I really liked that PC building simulator stream, by the way. I would just like to say, like, that was really refreshing to not only dive back into that, but dive in with the new mechanics of the campaign. And also with a clean slate, so I don't have to worry about it getting way too overcomplicated. It's cool. I like it very much. But that's also another one of those things that I want to put a little bit of space between the streams just so I don't get burnt out on them. Anyways, I'm gonna think on that one, and I will get back to you on that once I figure that out. But anyways, I'm off. See you later.